Hey y'all, how's it going? I am 33 weeks in a few days or something like that. I don't know. I've lost track. You know, this is my fourth pregnancy, third, like long-term pregnancy. I don't know if you can tell how big I am. This is the glory of pregnancy. I love it. I look like a turkey, like a frozen turkey. That's like when you're as white as I am and you like fully take your belly out and you're sitting there, you feel like a frozen turkey. And that's what I feel like, really, I do. But I mean, look at that. It's so pretty. Anyway, oh, sorry. It's gonna take me a second to adjust again. Anyway, so I wanted to get on here and talk about the fact that my baby, this go around, is Breech. I know, it sucks. I have looked just about everywhere. I've looked on YouTube, TikTok, on Twitter, or on X now. I have looked for any like videos or people talking about the signs, or like not the signs but the symptoms, and women to be on like social media talking about what it's like for them and like what it feels like to be carrying a breech baby. I can't find that anywhere. Okay, I have been so angry because I'm like, bro, I know what I'm experiencing. What about these other women? Like, I'm sure that there are other breech baby mamas, okay? And I'm sure that they've got symptoms similar to me, but like, I can't find nobody. I can't find anybody, okay? So I'm gonna be the person. Okay? If you are pregnant, okay, and you are pregnant with a breech baby, these are the symptoms that you might experience, okay? Because I've been pregnant 2 full times prior to this one, okay? This was not supposed to happen, okay? We only wanted 2. My husband and I were like, 2 and we're done. Cool? Cool. After we had our daughter, we were like, okay, we'll wait a couple years and then we'll have our, another one. Well, we got pregnant again at like 2-year mark by accident. And we were like, okay, great. Like, this is fantastic. Had a miscarriage. Then we got pregnant like a few months later with our son now. So he's a rainbow baby. And we were like, okay, great. They're like 2.5 years apart. Fantastic. Awesome. Well, after we had our son, which I was much bigger with my pregnancy with him, I thought I was miserable with my daughter. No, I was not miserable with my daughter. I was miserable with my son, okay? I was ginormous. And if you go look back at some of my other TikToks when I was pregnant, you'll see just how ginormous I was, okay? Well, it doesn't help that my husband's 6'1" and I'm 4'10", okay? That being said, all of my babies measure a week ahead, okay? They always have, they always will, apparently. My husband was supposed to get a vasectomy, okay? He was supposed to get a little snip snip after we had our son to prevent this from happening again, okay? And then I was going to get my tubes tied when we had the money and the ability to do that. Well, that did not happen. That did not happen. And then this happened. And I was like, I hate everything. I'm not okay with this. Everything turned out great. Like, the baby's healthy. I'm healthy. Love it. Ish. Anyway, I found out that it was going to be another boy. And I was like, great. Our boys will only be 18 months apart. By the time that we have this one, our son will be 18 months old. They'll be so close in age. They'll be able to play together because our daughter is autistic and she doesn't really play with anybody except for like me and her daddy. Like, she just wants to be on her own, and her brother is terrorizing her right now. So I was like, cool. You're the play toy. Like, you're the plaything that you and your brother, you'll be each other's playthings. Okay? Fantastic. I'm happy about that. Like, I'm gonna love him, obviously. I'm gonna love him. Just right now, it's a little difficult. Anyway, I go to the hospital a couple weeks ago, and they're like, hey, you're not in preterm labor. And I was like, oh, great. Then what's going on with me? Because something's wrong. And they were like, well, has your doctor ever talked to you about you having a breech baby? And I was like, no, he has not. And she was like, yeah, well, it feels like your baby's breech. Like, I don't feel a head down here. You said that you felt like the dropping sensation, and like you had all the pressure of the normal like dropping stuff. And I was like, yes, I know that feeling. That's exactly what that feeling was, but it doesn't feel normal. Okay? And she was like, yeah, well, that's probably because your baby's breech. I was like, what does that mean? I knew what breech meant. Obviously, not head down. And she was like, well, you'll have to talk to your doctor more about it, but that could be causing a lot of your symptoms. And I was like, okay. Well, I finally get in touch with my doctor. I finally get an appointment, like last week. And I was like, hey, is that true? Do you feel a breech baby up in here? And he was like, yes. I was like, nice, thank you. I was like, what's the likelihood of a C-section at this point? And he was like, well, by 32 weeks, which I was 33 at this point, okay, right? I had just gotten to 33. He was like, by 32 weeks, it's like 7% of babies are still breech, and the likelihood of them turning is not high. He was like, specifically with you, because you're 4'10", you got no waist, there's no space for this baby to turn right now. He was like, and you have big babies. He was like, so I don't see it happening, so your likelihood of C-section is like really, really high. I don't see us doing anything else. I was like, fantastic. So when do we know for sure? And he was like, well, 36 weeks, you can come in and we can get you an ultrasound and we'll find out for sure. As long as the baby's still breech and everything, we'll plan the C-section. I was like, okay, terrifying, but okay. Dude, the symptoms. I was terrified of a C-section at first. I was like, oh my god, it's horrifying. The only positive is that I can just go ahead and get my tubes tied. I already signed all the damn paperwork for them to just tie my tubes. Okay, I signed that shit. I signed it fast. Okay, but that was like if I needed a C-section, or if I ended up having a C-section, then it's just done. The paperwork is signed. Okay, my husband already got his done, so a few weeks ago. And so now with his and my, I should be good. This should not be happening again. Okay, so I'm very happy about that. But the symptoms, the experience of normal pregnancies, head down pregnancies versus head up pregnancies, bro, it is horrible. I can't even lean forward any more than that because my belly is already on the floor. That's disgusting. Anyway. My sister looked at me the other day and she was like, dude, where's your cooch? I was like, I don't know. She's gone. She said, bye-bye. She's gone. There ain't no saying hi to her again up until this baby comes out because she's disappeared. Anyway. So the big symptoms that I've been having is like I cannot lean over to change my kid's diapers without this one because his head's up here, feet down here, right? I feel his little feet moving around a lot of the time and I'm like, oh, it's weird because it tickles, but it also like hurts. It's a very weird feeling because it's like tickling your cervix with your, anyway, it's a very weird feeling. You'll get like feelings in your vagine too because of that feeling. It's a very strange feeling. I'm gonna have to do a part 2. I'm so sorry. It's just, it's a lot to explain and it's a lot to experience. And when you are as miserable as me, it's a lot. There's just been a lot happening. It's been a lot. So I'll do a part 2. And if you want to hear more about the signs and symptoms and stuff, then get on my next video. See you later.